Good morning, everyone. I am very happy to see you all here today. I'm Cheryl Bloom, I'm the principal. If you're really lucky, then every Sunday night you get to hear my voice on the BBC at 6 o'clock at night. We do have it going out in Spanish and in Armenian. That is our weekly update of what's coming. So if you're not hearing your phone ring at 6 p.m. on Sunday night, please see us afterwards, because that's how we get out the majority of the information to everyone. See us afterwards so that we can make sure we have the correct number. Welcome to Coffee with the Principal. This is a monthly, let's get together, let's introduce some new topics, let's catch up on what's going on in school, and any questions that you may have. And we always have special guest presenters to come and give you some information outside of what goes on at school. So, let's talk about some school updates. Moving on. There we go. This is the quote I live by. It's a great one from Maya Angelou. If you've been here before, you've seen it. It's a growth mindset. What we're talking about here is we do the very best we can every day until we know better. And as we learn more, we do more. As we grow, we change, we are better at things that we do. I introduce this to the students when I speak to them, especially last week when we had our student assemblies, and to the parents. How many parents were on our webinar last week? Either at 9 in the morning or 6 at night? Excellent. So you know that this is what we believe in. Everybody has a bad day. Everybody has a bad moment. And we need to stop, breathe, acknowledge that, talk about it, and then grow from it. And that's what we believe here, and that's what we instill in our students, to the point where we are going to be looking soon at what's called EGI, or Equitable Grading and Instruction. And that's the idea that outside of school, you're not graded. You don't go home from the day and say, well, I got a B on today, and then I'm moving on. You go home and say, or if you do what I do, it's at 3 o'clock in the morning. You say, today was, this is what happened. This part went pretty well. This part I didn't handle as well, or I didn't get to, or my time management wasn't there. And as a result, I'm going to now give a little feedback to myself, give a little reflection, so that we're going to go back, and the next time this happens, I'm going to change my response. Or I have to do a little bit more tomorrow to make sure that today is what I wanted it to be. And we're going to look at that, because at no point after we leave school are we graded like that. What happens is inner reflection. Our inner voice says, oh, that was not very good, or, oh, you did that great, let's do that again. And as a result, that's how we grow. When we go into get a driver's license, for instance, when you take that test, it's graded, you can take it until you have mastered the subject. And that's really important, because that's really what we're after. Is not, can you fill out this worksheet and get 100%, but do you really understand the concepts? And so we're going towards, in the next year, mastery learning. Do you understand the concept? Not can you just replicate it for 10 seconds on a test, but can you explain it to someone? Can you then grow? That's what we're looking at. That's what this quote objectifies, and that's what we're doing with our students and our staff. Anybody else wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and say, oh, could have done that a little bit better? Or am I the only one? one who goes bolt upright at 3 o'clock in the morning. Lucky all of you. Okay, moving on. Here are our updates. Next week, we're going to have our ELAC meeting. That's our monthly English Learners Advisory Council. That's another great parent meeting for you to learn information about the school and to be involved in the school and to give recommendations and things like that. Next Friday, not this Friday, next Friday, we're going to have our panorama picture. And that's where everybody stands out, they're on risers, and takes an enormous group photo. And that's going to be for sale. I just went and dug out, because Ms. Willard said something on our parent meetings the other day. I just went and dug out my 8th grade panorama picture and my high school panorama picture. And let's just say the 80s were a very different time. But I'm flattening them out so I can put them up because at least they have entertainment value. But it's something that your students probably will keep as their 8th graders, and it's just a nice reminder of all of their friends. I started to look for myself because I didn't remember where I was on those pictures. And I remembered, you know, I was very good friends with her, and this is what we do together, and it was just a nice stroll down memory lane. We have a lot of things at the school that influence us on many, many different levels. And this is yet another one that we'd like you to know about and what we're doing to help our school. So Ms. Amari is our Title I coordinator, and she's going to talk to you about our new ATSI program. Thank you, Mrs. Blue.
Hello, Ms. Amari. I see many familiar faces. Good morning. How are you? So, something new to discuss. It's called Additional Targeted Support and Improvement Status, but we will call it ATSI from now on. So, before the pandemic, we had SBAC, we had other tests, and these are ways that we determine student success here at school. Once the pandemic hit, the California Department of Education stopped looking at data. One of the biggest things is attendance, right? How can we monitor attendance if our families are getting sick and they're not able to come? At the time, the district didn't want 6 students to come to school. So everything was kind of just put to the side. But the California Department of Education is back. And so now they've looked at all our data and they've identified schools that need more support. So our particular school was identified as ATSI based on performance of our African American students and our students with disabilities. Now, the numbers determined, so for example, let's say we have 25 students with disabilities, which we don't, we have more, but let's just pretend. If we only have 25 students in that category, and 20 of them are absent often, that's bad. We have 1,300 kids. 25 isn't that big of a number, but it's the chunk in the chunk, right? The group being absent in that small group. And so when you have a large percentage like that, that sends red flags. That there needs to be something that we fix here at the school site to help those students. So obviously we know that, oh no, can you go back? Sorry. Obviously we know that there are many other problems, right? It's not just our African American students who are chronically absent. We have many students who are chronically absent, but that is the largest group affected. Our students with disabilities scored low on various parts of the assessments, but so did other groups. But those are the 2 groups that flagged us with the state. And honestly, it really doesn't change anything for Madison. We already write a plan, which is the SIPSA. So if you've been to any of our meetings, you've heard me say SIPSA maybe 1,000 times. And so we will continue to do the things that we've been doing. Using IXL, using Achieve 3000 as a tool that we're going to start implementing more school-wide. But these are strategies that we're trying to implement with fidelity to support our students with the most need. Moving on. So they require us to write a plan. Fortunately for us, we are already a Title I school and we already have that plan. So the only difference is that we make sure that we focus on those target students. But really there's very little change for us because we already have that plan in place. Things that you can help with us in improving our status, because we can change our status for next year. If we improve enough, we can move out of ATSI status. We need students to come to school, students who are healthy, right? Students who aren't ill to come to school every day and be actively engaged in their learning. That's what our parents can do to help. Also, we have tutoring. We have tutoring here at Madison, and there's free tutoring online. The tutoring online is amazing. It's really, really amazing what the district has offered, because it focuses on what the student needs the most support with, and it gives them immediate support and feedback. So it's something I encourage you, we all encourage you to participate in. We have school site tutoring and free district online tutoring. We will be planning more. We encourage all our families to join us at our SSC meetings, our ELAC meetings. I see many new faces here that we have not seen at any of our meetings. We would love to see you come back because we want more feedback from more parents. More feedback from more parents from a variety of groups. So that's definitely something that we would appreciate. And so as we continue with our planning and shifting out of ATSI, we will publish meeting dates and times and locations, and we would love for you to join us. So the idea is that we hopefully improve this year to reflect the change in our ATSI status for next year. Does anybody have any questions? I know it's not as exciting as the previous presenters are. Anything? Oh, okay. So